Hello, everyone. When we last left our heroes, they had crossed the Anduin in a desperate attempt to pit the 9 of us against the full might of Dol Guldur. Since that's a bit moderately insane, I think we will go take the North Road to Radagast and Roscobil. Good to know. That is true to the books, by the way. Radagast lives pretty close to Dol Guldur, and while it's not explicitly stated, it is almost certainly that he keeps an eye on things or is some sort of tripwire in case, the Dark Lord gets active in that part of the world again. As you can see, we go back to the normal looking graphics. It's really a small garden, roses, green ferns, and plants, many varieties you've never seen line the wall and are scattered in pots strewn across the floor. They're in great disarray. Now that does not sound like Radagast at all. He is a great friend of wildlife, and he never goes back to Valinor. It's implied that he gets some sort, he's too close to the life to want to go back. Maybe we can use animal speak to... Well, that's not good at all. Let's get them out of here. The wolves might be trouble. We could... I just want to see if anyone has rations. Okay, we'll trade some rations to Gandalf. And some to Aragorn. I mean, we could easily kill some wolves, but... Oh, they ran away. Yeah, why has your home seen better days? So you keep the spy right next to you so it can watch whatever you're doing. But I thought you said that it was from Saruman. Anyway, this doesn't seem to add up, so maybe we should free the bird. That didn't work. Anyway, we've been getting hints from those other brown birds throughout the game that there's something not right here. So if we attack Radagast, and hey, there's no cost to this. The game doesn't let you attack people you're not supposed to attack. Basically, the game does try to trick you into taking this werewolf with you. He will, like Athelwyn, betray you at inopportune moments. But he's not that strong. Werewolves, by the way, do exist in Tolkien, even if we don't see any of them in the core trilogy. Sauron used to command the Isle of the Werewolves in the First Age. And... although I don't actually... I'm pretty sure that Tolkien werewolves are more like evil spirits in wolf form, rather than, change from wolf to man like we see in a lot of media. How exactly is a wizard younger? You know what? Yeah, I'm not going to care. They do take humanish forms, so I suppose they can appear older or younger. Oh, so we were helping with all those birds we freed. Now I feel a bit bad for skipping over some of them. This does more sound like Radagast. Let's see if we can... I guess we have to get a bit closer. He won't talk to us, but we can recruit him. He has no equipment, but he knows some... Vine Crush is another combat spell. We've seen these ones before. Healing Hand heals him, although it does... Yeah, it heals everyone else in the party, although it costs a bit of his life. Like Gandalf, he has Read, a whole bunch of Lords, Perception, and Swords. And he's got Herblore, which is nice. He's a bit slow. He's not actually got a great strength. It's honestly not amazing, but still. Hey. Well, I guess we have the wolves after all. Let's trade them some rations. it would be mean to kill wolves. I don't think I got a chance to show you. It's much more useful actually in the Shire and the Green Hill area when you've got 3 barely armed hobbits. There, a wolf is actually a serious threat, so... But we should be nice to doggies. Oh, before I forget, since Celeborn did say he was going to leave us soon, let's give him the sword. So Radagast isn't completely reliant on his magic to fight. Well, now that we fixed it anyway. I do find it somewhat amusing that, at least for the overworld sprite, Radagast has the same one as Tom Bombadil. There is a kind of link between the two of them, with Tom being some sort of nature spirit, Radagast being the wizard most associated with nature, the natural order. Here we go. Couldn't help us attack the tower, would you? Okay, good to know. Now, we did get a word of power to help us with fleeing foes. So we can recruit Gollum. We'll be seeing more of him in the 2 towers. He's got okay stats for a hobbit-ish thing. He does have Brawl, which is good because I do not trust him with a weapon. And no items or magic. But let's get off the road. And, a custom little overworld graphic. Interesting. But there's something I want to get before we go take his secret path. It's around here somewhere. No, we still have a while to go yet. Interesting. And if you remember him back from near the beginning of the game, he's still apparently holding the roof up. Long way to take someone to bury him. Now we do have 10 people. Oh, no. Yeah, we do have 10 people. I'm going to temporarily dismiss Pippin. Gollum's the least use in the fight, but I'm going to do a little bit of role-playing, and we are not letting him out of our sight. The Ghost King is actually quite strong. He's better than Radagast, in all honesty, although his luck is pretty terrible. And I suppose he doesn't have swords, which is bad, because that's what he's armed with. But we have a ghost. So yeah, he's good to have along for certain things. If we didn't have him, we'd have to fight a number of wights. Unfortunately, the ones inside the tomb are made of stiffer stuff, and we have a big fight. I'm just going to keep Gollum out of the line of fire. Okay, 2 down. Three down. Good. Come on, he can't have that many hit points left. Well, we'll have to beat Sauron to unite the thrones of Gondor and Arnor. Searching well means probably using the perception skill. And magic glass sounds important. I'm just going to eat a bit of... I don't want to use the Limbus just yet, but I was hoping so. It'll be fine. And we can... Yeah, this is a bit of a bug. We actually can theoretically re-recruit the Ghost King and take him along with us, and like the fight in the Barrow showed, he's actually pretty good. But that is, I'm very sure, not intended. We got him his revenge. Let's have him rest in peace. Anyway, this is the area that Gollum wanted us to go into. It's a bit like the old forest. A forest maze, vaguely ominous events as you walk through, occasional attacks, and events that hit you for small pieces of damage. And clearly there are giant spiders around. Fortunately, 3 giant spiders wouldn't have posed a real threat to us when we got out of the Barrow Downs, let alone now. Once again, the game showing it does not have a great grasp on combat difficulty. It does get better in the second... Ow. Yeah, it's a thing that can happen. More dead spiders. I suppose the ones that were infesting Mirkwood and the Hobbit had to come from somewhere. And this... We did see black squirrels in the Hobbit as well. Not good eating. More spiders. More victory. There actually is another way into Dol Guldur, but that requires risking the road a bit further. And this way is, for all of its inconveniences, probably is the better way in. It's actually not really a maze. This place is fairly linear. It's more just a winding path with occasional tree obstacles to annoy you. Ow. Well, that looks important. And more spiders. And like in the Old Forest, you just kind of slip through the narrow tree line. Okay. We go east, I guess. And yeah, attacking Dol Guldur from the front strikes me as a bad idea. East and a big stone. Here we go. But we have entered Dol Guldur proper, and Gollum has slipped away. Now, at least the vision we saw of Galadriel that showed that the dungeons were on the bottom. So we should be looking for a way down, although there do seem to be some cells here. We can free Bridofin, and he will join our fellowship, but he has been he looks like, oh, this is Boromir. Bridofin does have the same portrait, though. His stats are pretty awful. He does have a few skills. He's actually good with bows, but someone who has been tortured in Dol Guldur is not the best fighter, but even he's an Olympian next to Hain here. Recognizes Gimli. We actually remembered, if you remember, we spoke to Kiri in Moria, and he was with Hain. Hain has been put through the absolute ringer. His stats are atrocious. In any case, he's too weak to use an axe anyway. I'm going to load. If you free them when you have a full party, they just kind of disappear to make their escape. Those stairs go up, so we want to go a different direction. So I'm going to rescue Sam before coming back for them. Some trolls. Oh, Olokai. Good swing, Aragorn. Good swing, Boromir. Yeah, the magic bow is a major upgrade over the regular bow. Come on, let's try to kill that second Ologai before they swing. Okay, nasty hit, but one we can survive. As far as I know, that doesn't do anything actually meaningful. It just freezes the screen for a moment. For a long moment. These eyeballs, again, I want to thank Michael Benes for his site. When I played through the game dozens of times, I saw if you step on them, you get step not on the evil eye. But it didn't lower my life, and I couldn't see what it did. But if you look carefully, it actually lowers the max hit points of the Fellowship, which we'll see. We used to be at 87. So keep away from those eyeballs. This is a fiery pit. It is not like the lava in, say, Moria. And I do wonder if the thing about the ice staff is from those, from people mistaking the two. Blinded again. But unlike the last time, oh, no, I guess. I don't know, some sort of troll barracks. Well, we killed 3 trolls without too much trouble, so 2 shouldn't be so bad. I think Ulukai have 60 hit points. I should really be keeping closer track, but it's not tactically relevant. We're all just going to pile onto him. Okay. More eyes to avoid. The main impact of getting the magic glass is this particular level is a massive illusion that if we had if we did not have the glass would look totally different and would dump us into all sort, like that fire. You can just walk into those pits without noticing them, and the actual staircase out looks like a fiery pit if you don't have the glass. So with the glass it's actually pretty easy. You just kind of walk through, and they're just, the invisible spiders are just regular spiders that don't show up on the map. Fortunately, your people can swing at them without any trouble at all. They're a nuisance, even more so than most things. Well, that doesn't sound good at all. The main trap of the Warlock's Hold is that this pool will mess us up pretty bad if we cross it. Oh, we get a paragraph. Paragraph 252. You see before you a large dark pool of water. In the center of the pool there are 3 extremely lifelike granite statues of what appear to be humans in heavy robes. Carefully aiming your light where their faces should be, you see a look of mixed surprise and horror. The water itself is still and very black. Looks more red to me. In any case, if we walk on it, we turn into a statue. Fortunately, we can actually just recruit right back. I've never tried to brute force my way across. I suspect it is not how the game wants you to do this, but you can, if you stray into the petrification water, you can just grab your person back. Not something I think was intended. So instead of trying to brute force our way and becoming statues, what we will instead do is keep wandering around the corridors, and an unseen force teleports us to the other side. There will be another teleporter to get back. We are making our way to the... Now, fortunately, the wandering of our fellowship members tell us right where the secret door is, and we can... These sorcerers are actually fairly dangerous. They don't cast spells. Where is he? Nice trick firing through a wall. But they do have daggers, which makes them more dangerous than most enemies. As we've demonstrated before, weapon usage makes a big deal in this game. Two down. And with that, we're at the bottom level of Dol Guldur. This is a dangerous place with all sorts of nasty triggers. The worst is one that will cause some of your people to turn against you. You can stop it once with the Melian Word of Power, but it only has one use. Come to the jail of Sauron. All his prisons, this is the one most terrible, save for the Dark Tower. Nazgul laughs, fools, thou dost walk in Sauron's footsteps. Here his power brooks no rivals. Nobody really uses that Elizabethan English in Tolkien. Even when you have really old speakers, like when Gandalf's reading the Scroll of Isildur, instead of using thee, thou, and for as much, he does use some archaic vocabulary like Weregild. But he also uses a Old English sentence structure. This I will take instead of I will take this. It's a neat touch, and I don't know, maybe the Nazgul should speak that way, but that's a bit more detail than I think most... Oh, wow, Nazgul missed. Nazgul almost never miss. Kick his ass, Mary. You need to get into practice for fighting the Witch King. Paragraph 244. The Nazgul withers. You have the feeling he is not quite dead. He has merely abandoned his form, traveling shapeless and disgraced to Mordor. A thin but terrifying voice says, "The hour of Sauron approaches soon. Thy doom draws nigh." The smoldering robes. Why would they be smoldering? We didn't set him on fire. Of the fallen Nazgul sting to the touch, but within the folds of his cape is a key made of a strange black metal. Falls to the floor with a clink. I think we already had a Malak key. Yep. So we can ignore that one. Huh. That's... I'm not sure why Sam didn't. Sam is supposed to be in there. I'm not sure why he isn't. I'm going to take the Malak key. I'm also going to have Aragorn use some Athelis. We've taken some hits, and I'm just going to consult my notes very briefly to see if there's something that you need to do to get... Sam was definitely kidnapped. I'm just going to try using the key again. Well, okay, with Sam not there, the game cheated us. I feel justified in cheating right back. I'm going to go pick up the Ghost King. Show you one of the ways out of Dol Guldur if we have occasion to leave. No, that's not the way out. It's around here somewhere. When all else fails, head bonk. Ah, yes, it's right here. The game does have some glitches with the kidnapping of Frodo and Sam. In fact, one of my biggest worries when making this video is that I would get one of these things where Frodo just sometimes reappears near Lorien, and then he automatically joins the Fellowship and the game gets all weird. That didn't happen, but it was one of the main reasons why I've been saving frequently in and around the Moria sequence to have a backup in case things went south. It's too much effort to go get the Ghost King. We'll just pretend that we got Sam, and that maybe I should be keeping Merry out of the line, out of the melee. And that we freed Hain and Bridofin, because I was counting on the Sam to make number 10, and then so we get the auto free. Stop beating up the hobbits. They're so cute and helpless. That is, unfortunately, one of the other issues. If you do want to play this game yourself, I do have to say that it is glitchy at times, and you are advised to keep backups to reload from in case something goes wrong. Oh, stop it. It's just temporary. Okay, so this is where we entered. And now we are going our ways up, since we couldn't find... Sam, by the way, when you rescue him, is supposed to tell you about how the Witch King is planning on taking Frodo to... He's going to fly Frodo to Mordor, although why he couldn't do this earlier is left unstated. Not really anything worth getting here. Avoid stepping on the evil eyes. A lot of Dol Guldur seems strangely empty. But we keep going. The eyeballs. There's also a lot of meaningless fights that, let's just be on our way. So we keep going, and here are luxury or at least apartments anyway. Rune, by the way, is just a generic term for east. In fact, I suspect that Rune is not supposed to be a unified political entity. It's just Gondor's term for everything out east. Okay, yeah, you think you can fight Gandalf? Yeah, it was hard. Doing that heals us. Not all the way, but it's a nice thing to have, given the attrition you can take. Here is another throne room. I don't know why Sauron needs two in the same tower, but there you have it. There's several ways past the unseen force, but using the Malachite key is the simplest one. And here we are at the end of things. The Witch King... Well, I'll just... Upon the peak of Dol Guldur, the Witch King holds a writhing sack. A hideous, skinless creature with large leathery wings circles the tower. He looks at you and laughs. He's preparing to mount his steed, and steed is misspelled, and fly away to Mordor. There are several ways to stop it. The simplest is just attacking him, but he will hit you with something if you do that. Better is to use the Word of Power Thorondor, the Eagle Gem that we didn't wind up getting, and I actually think that the Wizard Staff can stop it. Yeah, some sort of spell. In any case, we now have a fight on our hands. But it's 9 of us and only 1 of him, and to be honest, I don't even think he's as strong as the Balrog, although he is pretty tough. Somehow we can slash at each other through the wall. Neat trick, that. Unfortunately, we're going to have to probably waste a round getting into position. If there's ever a time for magic use, it is here. But despite getting some good hits in, the Witch King falls to us. He has a perfectly ordinary sword. And we do not get the end. In fact, I'm not even sure what to do. This staircase does not work. We cannot go back down. There is supposed to be an end sequence that... yeah, I'm not really sure about this. What happens if... okay, we did get the end sequence. Maybe it's because we used the staff. Caused a glitch. We've rescued the ring bearer and recovered the ring. I would have thought we'd saved the world. If Sauron gets the ring, it's all over, right? This is actually something that's mentioned in the appendices of Return of the King. While the main narrative focuses on Gondor, Sauron sends troops to attack all over the place, including Lorien. And Lorien does counterattack and eventually sack Dol Guldur. They also attack Lake Dale and the Lonely Mountain. Dale gets smashed up pretty bad, and a lot of the people have to take refuge inside the mountain. Dane gets killed, and a bunch of other people die too. I would have thought that elves would wear shirts, unlike that guy over by the left. It's actually a neat little graphic that the orcs have metal armor and the elves don't. Sylvan elves are noted not to generally wear metal armor. And this is what Sauron... I think this is supposed to be Sauron anyway. Yeah, having us in Dol Guldur and letting us go is pretty bad. Fuck up. And recover the ring. I don't think Gollum would get that close to a Nazgul. Unfortunately, there is no way to actually end this. You have to close down... in the original, good old days of actual DOS, you had to close down your computer. Here, you just have to... I'm just going to close DOSBox, but there's no way to end this. It also means that when you transfer over, because it transfers over at this point of your save, you never do get Frodo back. The game ends before you can re-recruit him. So for the next video, I will be showing some tricks to actually keep Frodo around so that you can transfer him over. Hope you enjoyed. And that was it for the main plot of Lord of the Rings Game 1. We will, like I said, the next video will be about maximizing our strength when we for transferring characters over, and then we will start the two towers.